Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be going over my 9th and final match from the 2023 Midwest Classic. If you didn't see my last video or any of the previous 8 videos on this tournament, at this point in the tournament I have gone undefeated, winning all 8 of my games. So at this point, if I can win this final match, I would go undefeated, going 9-0, and getting 9 points for my team. So there's a lot of pressure, obviously because of the team aspect, but also 9-0 looks a lot better than 8-1. So there's a lot more pressure personally for me to try to win this game because I wanted that undefeated streak. But yeah, my opponent 2Q, so 4 stones. So let's get right into the game. And we'll see a opening I've done a couple times in this tournament, where attach, and when black Ataris, I like to take the corner, and I believe this was the same exact opening for my first round game, or something very, very similar. So again, this is an opening I like to play, especially in a handicap game. And black blocks that way. Black chooses to block both. In a lot of cases, you can pick one or the other. You don't really want to end in gote here. While the outside isn't terrible, it's gote, and you would like to be able to get the first move on the right side after this. But if white just adds a stone, now the potential is limited of these stones in the lower right. Also, if you're going to descend once, usually you'll want to descend again. And the reasoning is, when you descend here, well, in the game, black went here first and then descended. The idea is, this clamp is a very nice move for white to get. If you have to play in gote to separate, then obviously white can play the extension, and now your stone at t5 is not accomplishing much. But if you can block here in sente, which is an Atari, that's a lot better. That'll allow you to then get the first move on the right side. And I believe this Joseki came up in my last round game against the 3-Dan. So if you're going to descend once, usually you'll want to descend again. Just for that reason. Because as we see, at this point, if I wanted to, whether right now or later, I can descend here, and again, notice black can't Hane here in sente. So, yeah. But I did not. I simply extended here. Yep. Extension, again, once black has descended, if black gets the first move on the right side, black would not only be attacking the upper right, but also expanding from the lower right. So play there. And I think I should just play this extension here on the start point, because we always want to view sente moves as sente. And so if we envision this kick as sente, which a lot of the times it is, especially after we've added a stone, when I stand up, not that it's the end of the world, but let's change the order. Let's say black kicks first. How far would you extend here? You should extend 3. So you should extend here or here. But you very rarely want to extend this far because it's too cramped. If you have 2 stones, you want to extend 3 spaces. So here, 1, 2, 3. So while right now it's 1 stone, and as the saying goes, if you have 1 stone, extend 2, it can become 2 almost forcingly. It can be come to. So because this move is sente, all of a sudden, I've now extended 2 from 2, which is a little over-concentrated. It also means later, if black Hane's here, there's no real good way to fix this clamp here at S12. Not that this clamp is end of the world, but it is an annoyance for white, because you don't want to play here to fix, because now you're making R11 even worse. but there's no real good way to fix, so that problem will always persist. So that's why here, I think I should go here and play Q10, so that if black kicks, notice when I stand up, now I have extended 3 from 2. Of course, when I play this far, though, it means later black could come in instead, or even come in after playing S16. So again, there's a lot of things you have to balance. So I think if black had kicked, I was actually going to Hane and connect. And this is creating some Aji in the corner while also preventing black from getting this Hane here. So I think that's what I was going to do. But you'll see I make a very good effort to get a move in the upper right to prevent the kick. Which is why I think actually going kind of old school and playing this dive, while it's not sente, if black answers, then I can extend the 2, and now black can't kick me. I do not want to play this Joseki, because in this case, black will choose this variation again. Or not even again, but will choose it on their own. Where if I cut here, obviously black's right side is very nice. Or if I choose this variation, once again, black's right side is going to be quite huge. So I like getting the lower right corner once, but I don't want it. I don't want it on the same side of the board. So yeah. So I go here. You'll see black plays elsewhere. I play elsewhere, and then I play a move at S16 because again I want to prevent this kick. Now black can't kick because this is not as terrible for white now. And the reason why I want to slide here as opposed to Hane is after this variation, again, black's not going to descend because it's just not possible. Black's going to play this Hane here. And my stone here is a little close. I'd rather have the stone somewhere else than where it is. It's not in a terrible spot, but black could play this variation in sente and just take another big move somewhere. And if we look around the board, where is white developing on a large scale or attacking black to gain a profit? It's not happening. So I actually don't want to touch black to keep the Aji alive. Because notice when black answers, I then play M17. And the idea with M17 is I'm trying to attack the upper right. How is this move attacking the upper right? Well, if black goes elsewhere, simply S17. Now, if black doesn't know the follow-ups and maybe simply blocks, there's a shape problem here for black. Take a second to see if you know it. Q18. And again, I've talked about this many times in my videos. And it's a very key concept in Go, where shapes that work in other places, or in one place, work in other places. So, for example, how many... In fact, we just talked about it on the right side here. This shape, right? Why is this acceptable for white? Because there's this connection that white can make here, right? When you have the 3 space and your opponent's in the middle, you can start to connect by attaching here. Look what we are creating at this point. Obviously, we're looking at the peep here, but look what shape we've made. We've made the 3 space, and which means in a move, we can start to connect. And so if you can spot these shapes in your game, it'll help you start to find the next move. So for example, if black Hanes, if we cut directly, this is not a terrible result for white because we do push black down by a lot. But we can do better. We can do better. We can simply play here. And black has too many cuts. Black blocks, now we cut. It's even sente for us. We're already fixed. If black connects here, though, then we split, and now the upper right is getting isolated. So that's why sometimes you want to directly go here to create this cut at 016. Whereas if you do this, black can cover here. And this is still good for white. Because again, black is now floating in the center. And white's taking all the cash up top. So this is a problem for black. So that's what this move is looking for. Now black does know this. Because black jumps here. And the idea is having this jump here does affect that sequence we were just looking at. Yes, if black goes here, black can descend like this. And we can see this extra stone here is making it so black can capture. But the one problem with this move is it's not forceful, right? It's not forceful. It's not making points. It is keeping black out into the center, but it's kind of separate. This kind of move is kind of telling me black wants to keep white separated, but white can't connect in one move anyways. So there are a few other options I would have preferred for black. One, simply take the corner. This is a large move, and in a lot of cases, this move is, it's save it for early end game or late mid game, because it is quite a big move. But in this case, black is strengthening black's corner. So I don't mind this move here, because it is a big corner, and it does start to affect just ever so slightly the right side as well. Or this pincer here. Because the idea with this pincer is, even when white jumps, now we could play some move like O15, and we've taken away white space. But the other thing about K17 that's nice, and again, this is where knowing your shapes is so valuable, is that we're also threatening to connect under at M18. Right? If we do end up getting surrounded, we can always connect under as a backdoor plan. We can always connect under if we need to. So K17 not only is taking away white space, but is also indirectly helping the upper right group because it's threatening M18. And if white ever wants to prevent that with this kind of move, then we've already gained a lot in the upper left. So I like K17. Another move I like is some forceful move on this side, saying, okay, white is basically alive on the right side. I am not looking to attack this, but I can use it to get forcing moves to attack the upper side stone. So let's say white does answer. Something like this, right? We're not going to answer so directly. We're not just going to connect. We're going to now pincer. And the idea is these exchanges we made are going to help me disconnect white from the right side. If we wait to play these moves, like if we pincer first, well, now we don't have time to play those moves, right? White is already starting to connect. But by playing them first, white kind of has to answer in a certain way. So now we can see if white plays the same exact move, it just doesn't work now. White's still separated. So, yeah, these three options, whether block in the corner, pincer directly, or get some forcing moves first. Again, I'm not sure exactly which ones. Maybe this one, maybe this one. I think are better than here. Because this move, it's gote. It's not threatening much. It's not getting a lot of points. All it's doing is helping blacks in the corner. And remember, the more efficient your moves are, the better. And what does that mean? The more multi-purpose your moves are, the better. So, okay, this move helps black's corner. But what else does it do? Well, we can't really say it's separating white because white was already separated. So that's really all it's doing. So in gote, it's keeping black into the center. So there's got to be a better way for black to do this. So that's why at least this helps black's corner, but also makes points. So that is dual purpose. That is dual purpose. So yeah, black had four other options here. But this one is not the best one, or this one should not have been one of the options. It's too slow. Because I just go elsewhere. And again, this is kind of what I want to do in a handicap game. White group, black group, white group, black group, white. I'm starting to divide up the board. And black plays here. This move, only play this move if you already have some stone extended. Because the whole idea with white playing c14 is to squeeze black into the corner. So what does that mean black should do? Black should avoid getting squeezed into the corner. So that's why we play moves like f17, or we kick and jump, or we play large knights, or we play some move that extends along the side. That's also why, if we get a chance to, that's why we double approach. Because if we get even another move, we're going to seal black in. And that's what you want to do. The whole point of approaching corners is you are trying to isolate them into the corner. When a corner group gets isolated into the corner, it has no effect on the rest of the board. All it's going to do is live in the corner, and that's it. So that's the whole idea with, one, black extending along the side somehow, whether kicking first and then doing it, or whatever it may be, or just extending. And that's also the idea of white, in this case, double approaching, is we're trying to make black's corner uncomfortable. So notice, black going here isn't getting black out along the side. So that's why I'm able to still double approach. Obviously, if you kick, I could technically still double approach, but the follow-up is too severe now. But when you just iron pillar, it's not severe. So I just play f17. And then black kicks. Yeah, this shape, just look at black's shape all of a sudden. Look at black's shape all of a sudden. It's just not great. And even here, I understand black's thinking here. Black doesn't want to touch this stone because black could potentially attack this stone. But black might need to attach to the stone. Because, let's say white hanes, right? And then fixes. Then black could fix black's shape, and now white has two groups to take care of. In this case, white would most likely extend up top, but that then means black can attack the left side, something like this. If white protects the left side, then obviously black can pincer the top. And again, similarly to O15, black is getting out into the center. But when you play this one, again, it's not forceful. And you're leaving a pretty big weakness. Now, there is an order here, but moves like this hane are very annoying for black. If you answer normally, then white's going to Atari. And depending on the board state, this cut could be very severe. Obviously, right now, it's not doing much for white. Black's stronger locally, but white knows this. So, white instead asks, okay, what if I make myself stronger? You have a weakness here. How are you going to play? If I make myself stronger, then the weakness at O16 could start to take effect. And here, I could see black actually ignoring. I could see black playing a move like E18. Again, this move is preventing this weakness here, because obviously now black is just okay. But it also affects the upper side. So let's say white even continues on the left. You could just double hane. Like, what's white going to do? White has a cut here. White has to fix somehow. And you could fix, or just go attack the top side. Something like this. Again, if white wants to cut here, let white cut there. White is not gaining as much as you are up top. Even if you just play in the lower left next, white has these 3 stones up top to deal with. The stone at f3 to deal with. White is, it looks like a Ponuki, but because there's this extra stone at c11, this is a little over-concentrated for white, actually. And even if this is thickness, how can white use this thickness? It's pretty difficult. So I would even try not answering this, even though we try to treat attachments and shoulder hits as sente. If there's something bigger on the board, you can take it. But notice black just answers, connects, I connect, and now I'm really threatening that weakness. So black covers. Again, I think it's better to just go here. Because, once again, black has already separated white. This move is unnecessary. White is already separated. So if you just descend, you're taking the corner. And how can white connect? It's impossible. It's impossible. If white pushes, okay, you're still disconnected. If white jumps, you can jump. So, yeah. If black comes out, so I jump. Black goes here. So then I jump. And again, black is almost following a white around way too much. For example, this move is not sente. What if black just pincers the top side? Something like this. This is putting pressure on the white group. And that means, again, I'm not sure exactly what could happen. But just for example, like after this, there's a push here that white needs to worry about. And whether black can take that immediately or just connect back. Like, does white block here in gote? That seems pretty rough. That seems pretty rough. Black could then get the follow-up on the left side. But black needed to do something up top. Because I don't think white's going to ignore and go to e10. Right? That just seems crazy. But black just extends up. White jumps. And black even pushes. And now there's no aji up top. Black even pushes again. And now there's definitely no aji up top. Black just pushes again and allows me to jump out here. So black had a chance to split the top side and attack it. But instead took a gote move here, which forces me to play good shape and thus makes these exchanges here. Now I will say this move is a pretty big mistake. I think I need to just stand up. While in a lot of cases this is a better move, there's bad aji with L18. Where if I block, black's going to push. And yeah, the idea is if I block, then black can push down. And now there's really bad aji like this. Like so. Black can capture the stones up top. So if I have to play a move it's like this, then black can isolate the stone at M14, which is pretty nice, actually. Again, now black's not the one that got sealed in. White is. So I think I need to just play here or just go elsewhere. But I think this is pretty nice. Because, again, there is still weakness that I want to exploit at E16. So black jumps. I shoulder hit. Black takes the elephant eye. So I just push. Double hane. Forces me to fix, though. And black stands up. Push. Here, this is where black needs to ask what's important here. Black saves this stone, but I don't think that's the important stone. This stone is what's keeping black out in the center. So if white just takes this stone at H12, okay, I'll just move on. But saving this stone here, maybe black was thinking it creates aji here, but it just doesn't. Like the push and cut here just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. Yeah. So if it created the aji of the cut here, maybe it's worth it, but in this case it just doesn't. So then I cut off the stone, although I had a dilemma here. I didn't know how I wanted to separate. Because here, and we'll see it later, black actually can cover here. And maybe these two stones has some aji. But if I do this one, black can play here into this. And not that I'm going to get cut in any way, but, or I am cut. Not that I'm going to be in severe danger, I mean. I have a cut here at M13. And once again, the aji of this starts to work again. So, yeah. It's a tough call. I thought this was better because now my aji is a lot better up top. But, yeah, I'm not sure. But then we get to this pincer. And again, I'm not sure why black is not kicking. The corner is worth a lot. And I don't think white can just stand up because, again, black has thickness here. So because white can't stand up, even when black pincers, white has to do something a little different. So I attach here. And this is a very nice move to know. Whenever you need to play lightly. This is a I'm going to play lightly kind of move. So it's a good one to know. Now, without even knowing any josekis that are based on this d5 attachment, put yourself in black shoes. Whenever you are attacking a group or a stone, and your opponent is playing these attachments, what are they looking for? They are looking for forcing moves, because the more forcing moves they can get, they're going to make... The reason why it's okay for white to make black stronger here is because black is already strong. If you attach to weak stones, you are making weak stones stronger. But if you attach to strong stones, you are making strong stones strong. So it doesn't affect it as much. So white is obviously weaker here, right? There's 2 white stones to like 10-ish black stones, right? White has no base. Black has thickness. White is pretty weak here. So white is okay with making this kind of exchange because white is never thinking, oh, I can attack the left side, because the left side is just so much stronger. So white is looking for forcing moves. So with that in mind, where should black play? Black should simply just pull back. How does white continue locally to get a lot of forcing moves? Well, if you jump, I'll just jump. And if you cover, you gotta be careful. White can make some good shape here, but I'll just break your shape, something like this. And again, white still has a cut. White isn't making a base yet. Like white is still weak here. Okay. So you could also play this kind of move. You also play this kind of move. But the idea is, when black blocks here, white is looking for a very specific move, and it's d3. And after d3, it gets a lot harder to attack white. Now, the other thing you need to keep in mind is, how badly do we need to attack white? So, for example, the thing black does in the game is the worst option. So I'll show you what black should have done. Is, again, without even knowing this kind of joseki, what looks like the key move that white wants? If you were white, where would you want to play next? e4, right? Because that makes me have very good shape. So in the game, black connects here, but that allows me to play e4. And then all of a sudden, white's starting to make a base. And compare here, right? We have these 3 black stones, literally c5, c4, and c3, to white's 3 stones at d5, e4, and d3. White stones are just so much more efficient than black's. White can starting to have a base on the bottom with kind of a co shape, and this is what white's looking for. So black should do anything in black's power to refute that. So black should poke here. Now if white connects, then we play at c3. White will turn, and even if black just jumps here, even when white can hane here and cut like this, even if we block here next, now black is starting to make some points in the center here. This looks pretty nice for black. How is white going to deal with the bottom side now? And that's not the only option for black. Black could also connect here. Now, the reason why you want to connect here, because if you play here, white can Atari. But if you block here, white can still hane. So this is preventing both. So even this kind of move is possible. This is the more let's keep fighting kind of move. When white attaches, don't hane because white can cut now, but just extend. And again, white is deep inside black's thickness here. So white still has to play moves to live. And that means, if white can play here, even will fix here. If white has to play moves like h6 and k5, black's going to be the one making points, whereas white's the one that's going to be making dame. But the key is keeping white's shape bad. Don't give white good shape. But when black connects here, and I cover, all of a sudden white's shape is very good. So now I attach, hane, extend up, black bumps, and I just block, because what's key here is taking away liberty. Even though it's bad shape, obviously, what's important here is keeping black, or making this cut work. So black has to fix. But then I can extend. And then black does something really peculiar here. Like, I was expecting some move out in the center. Maybe something here, maybe this. Something, right? Maybe even give up the 2 and build the bottom. But black plays here and just takes the 1 stone here. So this is very peculiar because black even adds another stone to fix. And I was like, thank you. That was very small. And it didn't really make me weaker because it actually gave me a bunch of strength. So I'm able to just jump here. And all of a sudden, white's the one who's building the center. So black jumps here. Shoulder hit. See how black's going to answer. And then I shoulder hit back and then jump. And that's the idea, is this shoulder hit. If black stands up, I'm going to jump and play at 0-5. So that was my idea here. I don't think it's the best idea. What I missed in the game was this move basically being sente. Obviously, right now, black probably wouldn't do it. But like, even here, black would maybe Atari. And the point of what the timing of this is somewhat important. But basically, I thought that me getting moves here would threaten to cut. But like, for example, if I go here, black Atarying has already fixed any weakness here, I guess. No, I guess there's still some. So I guess there is still, if I play this one, I guess it's still like there's still some weakness. But if I just connect here, now there's no problem. If I connect solidly, then there's connection problems, but I don't think I can connect solidly just like that. Yeah, plus, even if something like this, even if I can split black, right? I don't think I can kill black, right? Because now I have to connect. And again, there's timing involved. Sorry, this one. There's timing involved with this corner, but basically, even if black, I don't even know if that last move was necessary, but basically black can still live on the bottom. And so I haven't really gained much from attacking this. I've really given up a lot here in the center. So even if I can split, it's not worth it because black can still live on the bottom. But black was very scared and lets me capture here, which is so big. Well, it doesn't even let me capture, but lets me cut off the center. Black turns. Black jumps. So now I hane. Again, this was looming for a while. And black jumps here. And again, the idea is black doesn't want to go here because this Atari leads into this cut. Yes. But I think that doesn't quite work, does it? Because if I cut, black can push and push. Yes. And again, there is timing involved, but I'm pretty sure, like, if I just go here, black can capture, like so. If I try to play some move like this, there's push, Atari, and then wedge. And again, I'm starting to die up top. So I think black can still just block. It does mean I can hane here or connect in sente, which is still pretty big. So black can still block. But black goes here, and so I can bump. And now black gets reduced by a lot. And again, here I play this one. Because I knew, okay, in an ideal world, I can play here. Black will fix. Now black only has one eye, right? But black can play here, which is the bamboo breaking move in white's shape. And basically, if I try to keep black separated, then I myself will get cut off. The left side will die. Yeah, I can't go this way either. Because this move, while it worked before, when black gets g14, that's now a ladder breaker. So again, I knew black could make an eye. Right? It means I have to go here and black can do this. So now black has an eye here. So I knew black would make an eye here. So instead of saying, oh, black's a weaker player, let me just hope they miss this, right? Which a lot of white players in handicap games do, is they kind of wish or hope for mistakes. I knew that I couldn't kill, so I played the honest move and played here. And black was able to connect in Gote, and so I reduced black by a lot. And then jump. And then here we go. Black starts here and then plays here. And here I peep, and yeah, I think I should simplify this game. I think I should just play like this kind of move. Because there's no way for black to connect here. And even if there was some way, cutting here is really big. Because I can capture those 4 stones. So playing here is nice, but or like getting a cut here is nice, but it does complicate the game. But I was confident, so I could descend and then play here. Covers Atari. And again, even here, if I just do this, you know, it's the center's just too big. But I was confident, so I push, Hane, kick, and then even connect here. Because there was some weird wedge Aji with black going here that I didn't like. So if something like this happened, so I didn't like that. And so I was just securing up my points because I was like, okay, I've won this game. But then black Ataris and jumps, and I was like, I see, I'm actually not alive on the bottom. So even though I could have played more simple and kind of cleaned up the game, we get it exciting again. So I jump and make bamboo, black jumps. And again, here, I think I can just play here. And it's pretty hard for black to make 2 eyes. Yeah, black can make an eye almost here, but 1 eye isn't enough. And it's pretty hard to make an eye in the center as well, because I have so much thickness. But I push here. What I didn't see was this move being sente. Right, obviously this move is threatening 3 here, but this move is actually just directly sente because it's threatening to capture the 3 stones. So I Atari, connect. I Hane to get rid of the eye there. And then I play here. This was an important move. Black could go here in sente and get rid of an eye there. So I want to go here. Hane. So now we have a huge semi-eye. But what's nice about this semi-eye for me is I have an eye and black doesn't. So I even can descend, play all these moves. Now look at all these extra liberties I have on the bottom. So I can play here. I can bump here. Black throws in. Atari, push. Black Hanes, push, block. And black has to spend all these moves on the inside. And I even go elsewhere because I knew, okay, it's eye versus no eye. You can capture the 4 or 6 stones on the bottom. I still win the semi-eye. So I'll just play endgame because the center is too big. Black adds a stone to live. I play there, turn. Then I play here. It's a big move. But yeah, so then black realizes, oh, I am not, or I'm behind. Tries some things. And then even here, this is such good, what do I want to say? Efficiency, that's the word. Because this is a move I have to play eventually anyways. Like, this move does capture, but later black can Hane here in sente. So if I can play here, now I've prevented this move being sente, but also I'm still capturing here, which it does, because black needs to play here, but I can always capture. by playing here. But if black ever turns, I can always live and make 2 eyes by going here. So this move does work and has prevented some endgame for black. Black plays there. Black takes. I connect. Black fills. I even say, okay, I'll simplify. So I even took away my last liberty and then went here. So now we can see black can never play g5. But I can always play, or I can always fill black's outside liberties. So black blocks. So then I descend. Because this is sente. If I hane, I'm going to end in gote. But black says, no, my move is sente. But if sente means it's the biggest thing on the board. So even though black's move is, what, 20-ish points? My move is a little bigger than 20 points because I can play b19. And the idea is if black blocks, I can Atari. And black already has a dead shape. So black connects. Or makes the I connect. Black captures. And then I Atari. And black resigns here because now not only is the up or the center dead, which was enough for white. Now the upper left is also dead, which is definitely enough for white. So yeah, I think black was doing okay until the lower left. I think black was following white around too much and was giving up sente too much as well throughout the game. And just over time, it wasn't any huge big blunder. It was just gradually over time, white's lead expanded until black realized, oh, I need to do something in the center. And that's when things started to fall apart. But yeah, match 9 is a W, is a win. And that meant I finished this tournament 9-0. So I was super pleased overall with how I played. There were some sour eggs of games that I played. Even though I ended up winning, I knew I could play a lot better. But, you know, going 9-0 in a tournament, you can't really complain much. Now, obviously, they were doing the kind of AGA protocol, if you will, with handicap stones where it's rank difference -2. And for somebody who thinks they're very good with handicap stones, because that's basically all I play at my local club is handicap games, unfortunately. I was very confident going into this event because I feel very confident in my handicap go. But yes, that means this was my last game for the event. But how did my team do? So my team out of 10 teams ended 7th place out of 10 teams overall. Which you would think with somebody going 9-0, you know, like that's got to be like the top half, right? Well, unfortunately, even though I had 9 points for my team only scored 12 points. Now, there was a few reasons for that. One, obviously, my other teammates were losing. But secondly, they weren't playing all 9 other games. I believe even one of my teammates played no games. So that was unfortunate. But it is what it is. So my team only scored 12 points. So we placed 7th out of 10 teams overall. Something that's kind of humorous, though, is my 9-point score for winning 9 games by itself would have beaten one other team and would have tied with another. So just with my score alone, I would have tied a team and beaten a team. So that feels pretty good. And also, I was the only player to play every game and also win every game. Because obviously there were people that were undefeated, but they didn't play all 9 people. They may have had 8 wins or 7 wins or whatever it may be. So yeah, I was the only person to play every game available to them, which is 9 games, and win every game. So that feels pretty good too. But yeah, that was my 2023 Midwest Classic tournament games. And again, I'm super pleased with how I played. And yeah, if there's another team tournament like this, maybe later in 2024, I'll definitely consider joining again because it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that was my 9th match, and that was my tournament reviews. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. I know it's been almost like a month and a half of strictly game reviews, strictly tournament games reviews, to be even more specific. But Teisuji highlights will come back. Live games will come back. All that will be back on the YouTube channel. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video.